Monarchy. The declaration of the Republic was an important historical event in the life of the people of Egypt. King Farouk, who ruled Egypt from 1936 to 1952, was a special person. Many Egyptians wonder about his role in defeating the 1948 war, and the weapons scandal remains. Was King Farouk really corrupt? Was the Egyptian army defeated in the war as a result of this reason? Was he a traitor supporting Britain, or is history passing through a different vision? King Farouk's relationship with Sydney's theme parks is filled with another telling story. These gardens were her favorite pastime, where she had fun surrounded by diverse nature. However, questions arise about his rule and whether his betrayal and corruption were what prompted the people to declare a republic and obey the monarchy. Farouk bin Fuad bin Ismail bin Ibrahim bin Muhammad Ali Pasha, was born on February 11, 1920. My father, King Fuad, cared for my upbringing with an exaggerated degree of care. He confined me to a narrow circle of patrons, which included my mother and my princess sisters, as well as the English governess, Miss Enna Taylor. That nanny was very strict in dealing with me, which affected my experience as a child and greatly affected my personal development. I am Farouk I, King of Egypt and Sudan, a ruler with a mixed reputation, but my achievements speak for themselves. I came to the throne as a young man in 1936, and worked hard to strengthen my country's independence and provide assistance to the poor and needy. In 1936, I took my first steps by removing English workers from the royal palace. I was determined to revoke the privileges of the British ambassador, which I had done to enforce the sovereignty of Egypt. In 1937, she donated large sums of money to the poor and charities. I did not stop there, but rather brought Arab and African students to study at Al-Azhar at my own expense. In 1942, it established the Audit Bureau and the Syndicate of Representative Professions, and renovated the Al Morsi Abu al-Abbas Mosque. It also defended the independence of Syria and Lebanon. Confronting French colonialism, in 1944, she founded the Higher Institute of Dramatic Arts, and opened a spinning and weaving factory in Mahalla al-Kubra. She established the Science Day, distributed the Fuad I and Farouk the first scientific awards, and opened the Princess Ferial Library. It also signed the Arab League Protocol. When Prince Farouk turned 14, his father, King Fuad, faced great pressure from Sir Miles Lampson, who was determined that Farouk should travel to Britain. Lampson left no room for the king to postpone this decision, despite his repeated attempts. The matter eventually settled on Farouk enrolling in the Woolwich College of Military Sciences instead of Eton College, since he had not yet reached the age of 18. So his education outside the college was organized by teachers from within it. With the death of King Fuad, an important page turned in the modern history of Egypt, beginning a new page in the history of the family of Muhammad Ali Pasha. Prince Farouk returned to Egypt on May 6, 1936, the day that later became the official date of his accession to the throne, becoming king to succeed his father. A temporary guardianship council was formed to administer the country, consisting of Prince Muhammad Ali Tawfiq, Sharif Sobri Pasha, and Aziz Izzat Pasha. After Farouk reached the age of 18, he officially assumed the throne on July 29, 1938. But his rule was not easy, as he faced great political pressure, especially from Britain. On February 4, 1942, the British surrounded Abdeen Palace and forced King Farouk to appoint Mustafa el-Nahas as prime minister at gunpoint. This incident deepened the gap between King Farouk and Britain. On November 15, 1943, King Farouk was involved in a serious traffic accident that nearly claimed his life, which led to the Egyptian army intervening to protect him and enhance his popularity among the people. King Farouk's rule continued until July 23, 1952, when the revolution forced him to abdicate the throne in favor of his infant son Ahmed Fuad. King Farouk left Egypt on board the royal yacht Al Marusa, leaving behind an important era in Egypt's history and paving the way for the beginning of the era of the Republic. In an unforgettable world, the charming beaches of Alexandria are adorned with the splendor of Montaza Palace, which is considered a complex of prominent royal palaces. This magnificent land is blessed with an area of more than 370 acres in the Thani Montaza neighborhood, forming an attractive landscape full of beauty and glories. In a long time ago, at the hands of Khedive Abbas Hilmi II, the Solomalek Palace was erected in 1892 as a special place of tranquility and seclusion. This magnificent palace shines on the top of the hill. From its green balcony, the Khedive contemplates an endless horizon and breathes in the cool Mediterranean breeze. But the place was not satisfied with this splendor. In 1925, King Fuad came to add a touch of luxury by building the Haremlik Palace. This luxurious palace was a popular destination for the royal family in the summer, where they could embrace the fresh air and enjoy the tranquil sea atmosphere. Since then, the region has become a luxury tourism destination, attracting visitors from all over the world. To become a station for natural beauty and royal architecture, telling ancient stories from the great history of Egypt. In the embrace of the charming city of Alexandria, the ruins of Montaza Palace rise as a painful reminder of the passage of time. This land, which extends over a wide area, was deserted and isolated from the world, until the Khedive Abbas Hilmi II came, strolling on its shore amidst the music of the band accompanying him. Its view had a special charm, and he founded an ideal place for a palace and gardens that would be a haven for rest and relaxation. By his order, the first palace was built in 1892, bearing the name Salamlek Palace, and the surrounding gardens exuded a breeze of beauty and elegance. Since then, the region has become a luxury tourism destination, attracting visitors from all over the world. To become a station for natural beauty and royal architecture, telling ancient stories from the great history of Egypt. Decades later, during the reign of King Fuad, another palace was built in an elegant Italian style, and it was called the Haremlik Palace, adding a touch of Italian elegance to the park's aesthetic. After the Egyptian Revolution, these vast lands turned into a distinctive tourist destination, attracting visitors with its various facilities, including restaurants, entertainment centers, and playgrounds. It is nice that the gardens overlook 5 charming beaches, including Ada Cleopatra, Venice and Semiramis, in addition to the private beach of the Helnan Palestine Hotel, which is a center for water sports and diving. The royal family continued to care about Montaza Palace and Gardens as a favorite destination for spending summers, until the reign of King Farouk I, the last king of the Alawite dynasty in Egypt. Then came the July Revolution of 1952, and the parks and beaches were turned into the property of the people. As for the Salamlek Palace, it was transformed into a luxury hotel, while the Haremlik Palace was opened for public visits after the revolution. Before it was included among the palaces of the Presidency of the Republic to receive Egyptian guests, including presidents and kings. In 1964, the Palestine Hotel, overlooking the charming Gulf, was opened as a venue for the second Arab Summit held in Alexandria. which followed the first summit held in Cairo in January of the same year. Within the city of Alexandria, there are historical wonders that refresh the memory with their rich heritage, and among these wonders stands out Muntaza Palace, which includes many unique and exciting facilities, the history of which coincides with the history of the country itself. Salamat Palace, built by Khedive Abbas Hilmi II in 1892, it was intended to be a resting place for him and his friend, the Hungarian Countess Maytorek Hunzendo, whom he later married and who was known as Goydon Hanem. Haremlik Palace. It was built by King Fuad I in 1925 in the Italian style. He ordered its construction to be the royal residence for the royal family to spend the summer. Palestine Hotel. It is considered a five-star hotel. It was built in 1964 and has a charming view of the Gulf. It is owned by the Egyptian General Company for Tourism and Hotels, EGOTH, the Park's Lighthouse, the Royal Greenhouse, the Windmill, the Water Cistern, the Clock Tower, the Tea Kiosk, the Music Kiosk and other historical installations that add a special charm to the aesthetics of the place. There are also several wonderful beaches, an artificial lake, and the Royal Train Garage to provide more diversity and entertainment for visitors to the palace and the park. These facilities form an integral part of Egypt's historical heritage and are surrounded by many stories and secrets that attract visitors to explore them and enjoy their beauty. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button to receive all new updates.